Cut the bullshit. This is Sydney Watson. She organised the March for Men, so that you ruddy blighters might have some rights. Your rights are being taken away, you're being denied access to your children, you're being divorce raped. When a woman has the courage to stand up for men, the least you can do is stand by her when she's battling her former employer. If you'd seen the promotional picture, you would have seen what's-his-name sticking his finger up at the camera. I don't know who their target audience was, 12-year-old boys perhaps? But the moment I saw that, I thought, that's not a man, that's a child. In the back of my mind, I thought, hope she doesn't get sexually harassed. I can just spot him. When Sydney Watson organised the March for Men, naturally, she copped shit unlimited from the very biased mainstream media. She's made video after video after video defending men's rights, pushing back against extremist feminists, standing by men in our darkest times. The least we can do is stand by her. For those of you who are not supporting her, ask yourself why. Is it out of bitterness and resentment because you yourself are not successful with women? It's the easiest thing in the world to attract women. You need to realize that our lives are very, very short. Helen Keller was blind and deaf, and she said, life is either a daring adventure or it is nothing at all. As a survivor of extreme, utterly horrific violence, mainly at the hands of my incredibly violent father, and growing up around men who are absolute pieces of shit, I determined at a very early age that I was going to live a life of extreme adventure, and I wasn't going to let poverty, lack of money, or anything else stop me. If I didn't have a single cent in my pockets, if I couldn't afford a plane ticket, I would walk, I would hitchhike, I would jump on trains. One way or another, I would live a life of wild adventure. And when you live a life of wild adventure, you exude such passion, such lust for life, that women can't help but being attracted to you. I know, it's worked for me for 30 years. So if you are not supporting Sydney Watson, maybe it's because you're not a real man, maybe you haven't got balls to take huge risks in life, live a life of daring adventure, and make yourself into the kind of man who attracts women very easily. So, if you are not supporting her, is it for genuine reasons? Or is it because you're a man-child who can't get a woman, and you want to stick to booting? For 12 million years, human beings have taken enormous risks, travelled right across the globe, and lived a life of daring adventure. And it is that that makes life worth living, and it is that that attracts women to you. So if you are not standing by her because you are resentful of women, and you can't get a woman, then watch my channel. Magnificence awaits. You will see how I attracted vast numbers of women with no money, no possessions, nothing but my imagination. I could take a woman on a date to a garbage tip, and I would indicate the piles of rubbish and use my imagination and my way with words to paint them as the mighty Himalayas. I would make her say great, snow-covered magnificence, blasted by winds and chills and blizzards, with the abominable snowman running around, his ballsack frozen solid. I would use my imagination to paint those piles of rubbish as such a romantic range of mountains, perhaps covered in multicoloured wildflowers, with bears and beavers and fuck knows what kind of birds flittering around. I would use my words, my personality, and my imagination to describe the fetid stench as the alluring smell of honey, wildflowers, and fuck knows what else. My imagination has gotten me vast numbers of women, but that only comes from having a vast life experience. And a vast life experience begins by stepping away from your damned computer, stepping outdoors and doing what Charles Dickens did, going on vast, vast walks, walking for 10 or 20 miles every day, or at least every second day. Go in a different direction, walk to a different suburb, take every single bus route to its very end, go to every single train station, explore every single suburb. Spend every moment of your life in adventure. If you haven't got a cent in your pocket, and for some reason you're stuck in your town or your city, explore every single street, explore every single facet of it. Go online and explore every single hobby that anybody has ever had, every single passion that anybody has ever had. Attracting women is very, very easy. But it begins by you realizing that your life is very short and you need to live a life of grand adventure. Otherwise, you will end up like the baby boomers, regretting that you had spent your entire existence staring at a screen, rather than spending your life in the wildness and magnificence of the real world, out in the wilderness. So, are you going to stand up for Sydney Watson, or are you a pathetic little girly man? The choice is yours. Thank you kindly. Fuck off now.